Well, my name is Miguel Rivera, and I was a jockey one time in the 70s to the 90s. And I was the rider of a horse named Little Current, who won the Preakness and the Vermont in 1974. First I rode the horse in the bluegrass. It was a couple of weeks or 3 weeks before the Derby. And I didn't even know the horse. It was the first time I was getting on the horse. And going into the half a mile pole, the horse gave me like if he wants to go. And passing the 3/8 pole, I let it go, and he moved too soon. I moved too soon, and he hung the last part. I believe he finished third in that race. He should have four. He should have won the race. I think it was my fault. They didn't win that race. I let it go too soon. He didn't have a big, long move. You know, it was a short horse at the end. Only a quarter of a mile. That's it. Okay, so after that race, I wanted to ride that horse on the Derby, but there was no way for me to ride him because I have to ride a horse named Roof the Great, who I won the Wood Memorial for trainer Frank Martin. So I was committed to ride Roof the Great in the Derby, and that was it. I wasn't be able to ride him in the Derby. And I rode Roof the Great. He finished 10th. He didn't run any good. Little Current finished 5th. He should have won that race. But after that, they took me off of Roof the Great, and Mr. Rondinello wanted me to ride Little Current in the Preakness. That's how I got the mount. And see what happened. And we won the Preakness, and that was the beginning of my career as a jockey. In the Preakness, Lou told me to take him back, because that's the way he likes jockeys to ride his horses, make one move. So I took him back. There was a loose horse in the race that I didn't even know, and I stayed in the inside all the way, coming into the quarter pole. There was no place for me to go. I was already in there, and I took a chance, and I went through a little small hole, and the horse gave me his run, and he took off in the 8 pole, and he won by 7-8 lengths. And that was it.
Here they come, turning down, and the post parade now begins. And the 12th and 13th in the field. Number 12, Bucks Bid, Donald Macbeth aboard. And 13th and last will be Kin Run of the V9 stable, ridden today by Larry Adams.
Those horses are continuing to move into the gate now. Some of the outside horses. Here's Silver Florin, the supplemental entry in the race, and he's moving into the gate now. Hudson County's in. Here's Neapolitan Way. The outside horses now. Heir to the Line is coming up to the gate, and he goes in without any problem. And we're ready to go. Here's Destroyer moving in on the outside. He's in, and they're all in for the race. They're at the post. Standing in good order. No trouble in the gate. And they're off for the lead. Jolly Joe, who on the inside, losing of the rider, is Buck's Bid leaving the gate. Jolly Joe, who Silver Florin on the outside, coming on Hudson County, and Destroyer on the outside. They're coming by us for the first time, and Destroyer's on the outside, leading a half length. Hudson County has the rail in second. Silver Florin a close third. Then a length and a half back on the inside. Jolly Joe, who up on the outside, is Heir to the Line, followed by JR's Pet. Then it's Cannonade and Rube the Great right together. Another 2 lengths back. It's all game. Then Neapolitan Way, Kin Run. The final horse is Little Current, and of course there is a loose horse out there. Buck's Bid without a rider. He's the final horse. They're moving to the backstretch. On the inside, it is Destroyer. On the outside, it's Silver Florin driving to challenge for the lead. Now moving along the inside, Jolly Joe, who also has made a move to challenge. Heir to the Line is holding on in fourth right behind those three, and they're together now. Beginning to move up, JR's Pet along the rail also, and moving is Hudson County. Now Hudson County moves up to take over fourth. JR's Pet is fifth on the outside. Cannonade is behind 3 horses, and he's obviously waiting for room. Rube the Great is right back of him, and he's also ready to make a run now. They're on the turn. Jolly Joe, who by ahead, Destroyer is second by a half a length. On the outside, here comes Heir to the Line, and he's driving for the lead, and he's getting it. JR's Pet is trying to get through on the rail, and Cannonade has now gone to the outside, and Cannonade is making a run at the lead, too. They're at the head of the stretch. Heir to the Line is the leader as they come to the head of the stretch by 2 lengths. Cannonade is on the outside, beginning to come on. Then along the inside, Little Current is finding some room and also coming on. Tight quarters on the rail, however. They're nearing the finish. On the outside, Heir to the Line is Cannonade, but Little Current is getting through, and here he comes. They're coming to the finish, and Little Current is taking over as they come to the wire. He's drawing away. Little Current is going to be an impressive winner. He's winning it off by himself, making it 7 lengths at the finish. Neapolitan Way, a surprising second. Cannonade is third. On the inside, Jolly Joe, who held on to fourth. Kin Run fifth, and JR's Pet finished sixth. And there was a surprise, but a very, very good ride by Miguel Rivera. Miguel Rivera on Little Current made his winning move getting through. You'll see as we get back to the replay. Here he is going out around the turn right now. He won this race very impressively. He got through along the inside. At this point in the race, he had the rail, had gotten through, and from this point on just continued to open up lengths as they came to the wire. Little Current, owned by Darby Dan Farm, and a very big win for them. They've won the Derby. Now they've won the Preakness. Coming to the wire, no whip, just hand urging, and Little Current is going away to be a very strong leader at the finish line. As they hit the wire, I made the margin approximately 7 lengths. That's pretty close. The time of this race, a very good time. The race went in 1:54 and 3/5, just 3/5 over the record.
Little Current, the horse that caused so much interest because of the rough trip he had in the Derby, but unlikely as it seems, was only the 7th choice here by this Baltimore crowd today, despite all the good things that came out of the Derby on his ride, and he really convincingly won this 99th running of the Preakness. And now Frank Wright, let's take a look as Rivera, the jockey, comes down to the wire.
You've seen the motions of good pitchers and athletes in slow motion. Now watch 2 athletes together, Jack. Rivera now realizes that he has it more or less in hand, but he must not take any chances. He is now hand riding. He has his shorter loop, or cross, as the riders call it. He has his stick in his left hand, cocked in the hitting position, but not using it, and his body and the horse's stride are moving in unison. 2 athletes operating like one. As he comes to the finish line now, his stick is over in his right hand, still not hit, and he pumps in unison with his horse. A marvelous picture of a horse and rider working together to victory.
Beautiful ride by Rivera as he saved ground there and made a tremendous move at the right time. Cannonade, it looked for a moment, was going to duplicate his Derby win, but this horse had too much for him, and a surprise in second place, Neapolitan Way. But here it is, the Preakness winner, Little Current, owned by Mr. and Mrs. Gilbert, Darby Dan Farm. He's a seabird out of Louisiana by My Baboo. And let's have some comments now from Woody Broom.
Well, you have to say that perhaps they call racing the sport of kings because it's the one thing even kings can't control. They may get a little blasé about ruling a kingdom, but running a race is something else. And you have to say that Little Current, whom Chick showed you earlier today, had such terrible bad luck in the Derby. Did have very good luck today in that from virtual last place, he found room all the way. At one time, it appeared that he might be knocked down by the riderless horse. But then suddenly, as the gates had all closed for him at the Derby, they all opened for him today. And that is what they call racing luck and why kings get called under their crowns. And that's why it is a wonderful game. Back to Jack Whitaker.
All right, there's the victory portrait. Mr. Galbraith below, trainer Lou Rindello, and how happy he is. He was in the hospital on Derby Day with a little painful operation, but now that's all over, and he has a winner. And for Mr. Rivera, who now dismounts, he and Angel Cordero are great friends, and they drove down last night, finally got a motel, and Rivera had to sleep in the dining room on a cot. He had the biggest room and the smallest bed in Baltimore last night, but I'm sure the trip was worth it.
He'd have slept on a bed of nails if he could have been guaranteed this. He's now affiliated, of course, with the Galbraith stable. They have a first call on his service. This is a great way for him to start.
Might point out, that's right, that he had been Rube the Great's rider until this race now. So Rivera now will weigh in, and after that we'll come up here and learn all about it from the jockey and from the owner, as Little Current is your winner.
Thank you very much, Mr. Cohen.
Good job. Great day.
Before I make the official presentation to you, I want to just say it's been a fantastic week in the city of Baltimore. There have been things going on all week long. We've had events downtown. We've had events all over all the neighborhoods. And now, at the end, we have the great running and the thrilling running of this race. And we are particularly pleased to be able to extend to you the official congratulations of the city of Baltimore on winning the 99th Preakness. And to you were just fantastic out there.
Thank you.
Yeah, you going to say something?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I don't speak too good English, you know, but I want to say thank you to this gentleman here, his wife, his trainer, Ron Pinello, and to Angel Cordero, who was the one who brought me to this gentleman here, and to my agent, who's been doing a great job for me. Now, can I say something in Spanish for my people in Puerto Rico?
You definitely can say something for your people in Puerto Rico.
Para ti, mi madrecita querida, que sé que estás ahí viéndome, a ti y a todo el pueblo de Puerto Rico, le dedico esta lindísima cajera.
Now, before you leave, we want you to say the same thing to the people of Baltimore.
Well, to all the people in this world, I want to say thank you to everybody.
You speak good English. Now, Mr. and Mrs.